Hi, this is Deb Helfrich, hashtag Redheaded She-Hulk, and this is an ode to Eddie Izzard, an ode to the 31 marathons, 32 marathons in 31 days during the month of January 2021. Under her absolutely and entirely justified hashtag Make Humanity Great Again campaign. We're in a world where the gifts of so many are open to all of us. Yet the way the algorithms and the search prediction and the constant notifications and the chatty lowest common denominator emojis, they're preempting our species from being able to do what Eddie just did. Her feats, forget about the physical endurance, which you really can't forget about. I mean, let's not put them aside. But let's just say, to operate at the mental capacity to create a new genre of sort of a running podcast while improvising your heart and soul out, discussing this, that, and the other thing about humanity. Just honored, thrilled to learn the craft in your goddess class. So here's the deal. My persona, at least up front, the first go at this, although it's a very, very, very astute triple entendre sort of truth, is I'm the hashtag Redheaded She-Hulk. Racism makes me angry. Viruses make me angry. Capitalism. You're gonna get the muscles out. But in my case, instead of all Lou-Ferrignoing up, I'm gonna bring out the heart chakra green muscles and talk about using logic plus love intertwined. Here's the deal. As a stand-up philosopher, as the inventor of my craft, I'm here to tell you, I can see through and bust beyond every broken paradigm that's locked our civilization into separate silos of either or thinking. We just need to learn some more complexity of thinking. We need to learn the skills and strategies of life-centric thinking. This is using if, then, therefore thinking. Well, if I know this is true, then I want to know if this is true. Therefore, the two together, mix or match or don't, you begin to build a way of thinking logically and thinking in loops, because this is how programs are built. You want to know anything about programming, it's loops of if, then, therefore statements. That's how machine learning works. And while there's been some bells and whistles, overall, this is the problem with why the tech singularity is not really likely to happen unless you start ignoring all of the signs that there's rotten to the core setups in our tech. And tech itself won't become self-aware. It's like literally impossible by definition. Tech will never be able to move, and moving is the definition of life, because tech won't feel emotions. Tech won't start to feel grudges against humanity. I'm not seeing anyone talking about big thinking, big feeling. It's big data. It's just data points. It's just all the complexity of the circuits of if then therefore thinking that builds a whole stream, just like dominoes. It's very mechanistic. But what's not mechanistic is the way Eddie Izzard does 31 in 31 days. And then 3 days from the end is like, oh, no, we'll do 32 in 31 days. Just it all went so very, very well. We will see. We will see. We will see that it is our captivity to seeing is believing. This is fundamentally a pivot that can make everyone think in a more analytically creative way. Your eyes do deceive you. Your eyes do have a tendency to look for confirmation bias, to see the things that you're used to seeing. Your eyes are wired in. Vision goes from your eyes all the way to the back of your brain, and it gets wired up all through the cortices. So seeing limits our thinking in that we spend so much time processing what we see and wanting to run through what we think, through what we see, that we just don't notice that seeing is the water we swim in. But the way we operate as human beings is electromagnetic, primarily. This is an assertion that leads to a philosophical hypothesis of bioelectricity that can change the destiny of humanity through bringing in more mental and physical fitness. By simply understanding how the forces of the universe work in the equation of human energy. Now, who am I to talk about this? Well, I am a degreed philosopher from Carnegie Mellon. I know how to think. I know how to have a career in IT, having been a software consultant for 2 decades, doing payroll implementation software consulting. Let me tell you something. Everything you've ever heard about tech going awry, you ever hear about people not getting paid? There is a resilience and a robustness to that software that practically only air traffic control can rival. You see what happens when we don't pay people. That's caused by a virus. That's a double entendre, is it not? We slept on Y2K. We handled it. We handled Y2K so much easier because it was just about the code. There was no there. So long as people actually paid attention and diligently went through and found all the references that had only 2-digit years, nothing went wrong. It's not the same when a packet of RNA, we like to collectively, oh, I like playing with that word. There's something really interesting there in colloquialisms and collectively, and I'll be doing some Googling in the future to play with that collegiate, that root, that knowledge in college. Collegiate, colloquial. You see, we're all right. We're saying, no, not this, it's that, but words have more than one meaning. Very many of them, especially in English, we're very stingy. Very stingy. with our words. And then we're very demanding that you get it right, except you have 5 different definitions to get it right. Why we can't just create a brand new word? Every word has one meaning. Do we understand that's kind of like the metric system of English? One word, one meaning. Clear up so much melodramatics. Need not apply. So, I got this. I got this skill and talent. I woke up, I have it. I've been stacking in all of this stuff into my memory banks. The only riches we ever actually possess personally. And then I optimize my bioelectricity, et voila. Profundity, stand-up philosophy, going for light bulbs. Double diamond style. Or the double black diamond, I don't know, I'm not a skier. Yeah. So all this stuff I'm gonna get to do once I find my patron. Once I find the executive producer who's ready to build an entercation empire. Following this sort of vision of Eddie Izzard, but not. Wanting to be very Dave Chappelle, but not. Wanting to be able to have a stage, whether it's just even a webcam and my yoga ball, where I talk through what I need to say to you all. And I think this is the next improv. This is mental health. The capacity to be so truthful and trusting of your own truth that you can let your brain and body power your mouth in synchrony. It's all here. It's all for the common collective good. It's all about fierce love, wanting to really dial into how things got wrong so that we can make them right. The point of this video, I'm announcing Fasting February. Just to myself right now. And it feels like always only just to myself. But nonetheless, let's do it. It's a challenge. There's a month. It's a good month, short that it may be. And I kind of see the theme of understanding Black history enough to want to be a crucial person demonstrating the Black future that saves humanity. Wanting to be somebody not afraid to be telling the world, I want to learn Zulu, Yoruba, Kiswahili. Shoot, I have trouble remembering the official language of Rwanda. Kinyarwanda. Well, let me get it correct, because it is right here. Kinyarwanda. 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 Got that now. Kinyarwanda. Much dap to Chigali. That's interesting. Getting a little closer in there. All right. We're going to see what 28 days of fasting can achieve. We do a 23-46. Basically, I have a breakfast every day. So 16 minutes, usually raw cacao mousse and nuts. And I'll see you the next morning. And this works really well when it comes to not hitting a digestive stopping point, which is one of the major consequences of not easing into your daily BM. No, fasting over time and knowing specifically, I would say most definitely the 3 days. Anybody should be able to do that. And if not, you should work with your doctor and find out why you can't fast for 3 days. Then the 5 days, and then even a 7-day. There's windows there that I think learning about what happens when you fast for 3, 5, and 7 days is something that is really useful for every human. And it's quite a measure of fitness that we don't really think about. And of course, large people have the advantage. If you're morbidly obese, fasting should be your go-to strategy. It was mine, as I lost 150 pounds in the 15 months after turning 50. I'm going to see what happens in February if I don't eat. So it is again. This is really the only major horizontal surface in the human body. Now, I'm getting the lower linea out. But what happens is the actual fat sort of goes from where it is, and it's got to make its way to the pantry down here, because this is where the organs that know how to metabolize fatty acids into metabolic energy. It's the same organs of digestion as when you ingest food. So I think in a lot of ways, when we think we've hit a plateau, you're not just really looking at what's happening to your wrists and your ankles and your face and all this. And oh, we missed Mike. I'm gonna go see.
There we are. We are live. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This is episode 12 of the House Guest live stream series. Please welcome on the piano. This is the great Sullivan Fortner. Hit the like button so we can feel your applause. But thank you so much for tuning in. We're really excited to play for you. And we got a number of...
I'm excited to go listen. Mike Moreno doing live jazz duos from his Manhattan APT RA BAPT NYC. Get it right. RA NYC BAPT. Roy Ayers, New York City, bachelor apartment. Poo poo la la, means I love you. I love you tender, I love you sweet. Poo poo la la. Mr. Vibraphone himself, Roy Ayers. I was like 15 by that album. That's how long ago it was. On the vinyl. Had to poo poo la la. Roy Ayers. Jazz. Jazz dancing. Jazzing through life. Improving. With music, with words, with movements. We need to create a world where these careers that allow all humans to be able to be inventive, to use their brains. This is it. So, had a bit of indulgence over the last few days. And because I'm dead broke. And because I want to know what it feels like to be lean. Because I might die days after March 31st. Because I don't have a way to make a career locked into my own basement, my own she-bat cave, in a very literal sense. Where the mold almost took my life. And where I figured out, look at me, I've got this new lease on life, but I can't figure out how to get anybody to pay attention to me on social media. This is a Ponzi scheme, social media. And it's killing people. And I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with all of the ways that we have this society, this civilization, right? These concepts are supposed to be the emergent qualities of a well-functioning group of Homo sapiens. And instead, it's just all scarcity and lack and punishment and evil from abuse, greed, supported. Every human is precious. And to make humanity humane for the first time, we simply need to set up a structure where all adults are paid a livable wage for work that allows them to express who they are while they serve the collective. We don't need all this meaningless rules and regulations and applications. Oh my God, the application process. It's become a nightmare. Love you, humanity. Life-centric thinking coming to the rescue. Harmony, y'all. This has been Deb Helfrich, #RedheadedSheHulk.